We've gone bankrupt. We've gone bankrupt. Over in the direction of Yancheng, Jiangsu, we've just acquired another foreign investment company. It's all top of the line, with over 200 Yingtao drilling and tapping centers. The equipment is still nearly brand new, only used for 2,000 or 3,000 hours. The precision is still within a micron. The equipment just came in 2023, still using the Mitsubishi M80 system, with 21 magnetic floating tool magazines and 24,000 RPM.
In Dongguan, Tianhong also announced its dissolution. Tianhong Dongguan Technology Co., Ltd. has announced its dissolution, terminating all labor contracts. A company with thousands of employees, once a major foreign enterprise, has suddenly shut down. This IT veteran, established in 2004 and a wholly owned subsidiary of a well-known Canadian group, was once a giant in the industry. It was ranked among the top 10 globally and at its peak had 12,000 employees and occupied over 33 acres. It was a major contractor for Dell. Known for offering some of the best benefits in the industry, it was once a symbol of stability. Now, this iron rice bowl for thousands of people has been taken away just like that. The closure of foreign enterprises is no longer a rare event. Earlier this year, IBM shut down its investment in China, and US payment giant Discover laid off its entire Shanghai office. Global semiconductor giant Vishay plans to shut down its Shanghai diode packaging factory by the end of 2026. World-class foreign companies like Nokia and Samsung have already pulled out of Dongguan. Additionally, the American software company SAS is withdrawing from China.
After 25 years of operation in China, American software company SAS has completely exited the Chinese market. Recently, they announced the layoff of 400 employees in China with compensation of N+2, and the key thing is, they'll pay your salary through the end of the year, along with a year-end bonus. SAS's major clients in China included almost all the major banks and insurance companies, as well as huge state-owned enterprises like Baowu Steel Group. In a way, the software was almost irreplaceable, much like Microsoft's Windows.
As foreign investment exit and factory shut down, the Chinese government's report on foreign investment data shows a puzzling increase. Recently, the Ministry of Commerce of China released data claiming a recovery of foreign investment, stating by the end of September this year, about 48,921 new foreign invested enterprises were established, a year-on-year increase of approximately 16.2%. Strangely, during the same period, the actual foreign investment amount was about 574 billion yuan, a year-on-year decrease of approximately 10.4%. This data is quite odd. While the number of foreign invested companies is rising, the actual foreign investment is declining. In other words, while it appears that more companies are registering as foreign invested enterprises, the invested capital is shrinking. This could indicate that the newly registered companies are smaller in scale or merely formal registrations without actual capital injection. According to media reports, the Chinese government has lowered the threshold for registering foreign invested enterprises. Some companies are now registering with a capital of only tens of thousands of yuan, far below the billions previously required for large manufacturing investments. However, some analysts point out that this increase in the number of enterprises decrease in funds pattern may reflect that foreign investments in China are more about maintaining or adjusting existing operations rather than large-scale new investment flowing in. Thus, the Ministry of Commerce's claim of a recovery of foreign investment is likely a result of policy support boosting registration activity and leading to structural adjustments rather than a significant, sustained, and stable net inflow of foreign capital. Data shows that in the first half of 2025, foreign direct investment FDI into China was only 31.9 billion USD, while China's outward FDI reached 78.5 billion USD, resulting in a net outflow of approximately 46.6 billion USD. Additionally, some so-called foreign investment may actually be fake foreign investment, domestic capital registered through Hong Kong or offshore entities, which is essentially Chinese capital, not true foreign direct investment. China expert Wang He points out that about 70% of foreign investment in China comes through Hong Kong, and at least 40% of that is fake foreign investment. He explains that these fake foreign investments involve Chinese companies registering overseas and then investing back into China. If you exclude this portion, the actual scale of foreign investment will be much lower than official statistics suggest. These fake foreign investments are not just simple cases of company registration and investment. Let me tell you about a bizarre fake foreign investment case that shook China's financial world. Jiangsu businesswoman Zhou Meixia created an illusion of nearly 8 billion yuan in fake foreign investment in just 2 years. This case not only shocked the Chinese financial community, but also exposed the false prosperity created by local governments' investment attraction efforts. It also revealed that what is often hailed as an influx of foreign investment is sometimes merely a carefully orchestrated cycle of funds. Zhou Meixia from Lianyungang, Jiangsu, once worked in the prosecutor's office and had a deep understanding of the system's operations. After transitioning to business, she took up a shadowy but highly profitable task helping local governments manufacture foreign investment performance. In China's administrative system, each local government is tasked with the goal of attracting foreign investment. The better the data, the smoother the official's career. However, as real foreign investment dwindles and risks increase, a game has emerged where fake foreign investment is used to achieve real achievements. Zhou Meixia's method is known in the industry as the fund's repatriation technique. She registered multiple shell companies in places like Hong Kong and the UK, which were normally foreign invested enterprises, but in reality, they were just combinations of accounts and seals. The process was remarkably simple. Domestic companies or local governments entrusted her with attracting investment, and funds would first be transferred from Chinese companies' accounts to overseas accounts. These foreign investor companies would then transfer the money back to China. This way, on paper, foreign investment seemed as if it arrived. The project was approved, and the achievement data looked great, while the funds had never actually left China. She took a commission from every repatriated fund, earning tens of thousands of yuan for every $1 million deposited. In just 2 years, through this cycle, Zhou Meixia manipulated the back and forth movement of 1.15 billion USD, equivalent to nearly 8 billion yuan. This was a carefully designed yet widely tolerated game within the system. Local governments needed the numbers and she provided the data. The government achieved its targets and she profited. This was not just personal fraud, but a systemic conspiracy. The court found that Zhou Meixia's client list spanned the country throughout Shandong and Jiangsu provinces, as well as some enterprises in Hunan and Henan. Her partners included several state-owned enterprises, local SOEs, and private contractors. Some companies actively sought her help to create foreign investment data, knowing that by helping the government meet its goals, they could gain more benefits in land, loans, and project bidding. This was a cycle of power and money disguised as investment attraction. This case exposes a fundamental issue. In the Chinese political system, foreign investment figures are no longer economic indicators but leverage for officials' career advancement. Local governments will stop at nothing to generate these numbers. Regulatory bodies do not scrutinize the source of foreign investment. Financial institutions facilitate the transactions, and the judicial system only intervenes when the financial chain collapses. Zhou Meixia is just the operator exposed in the scandal, while the demand chain behind her is the true source of institutional corruption. Thus, fake foreign investment, circulating funds, and offshore shell companies are packaged as investment achievements in the policy's gray area. Zhou Meixia's 8 billion yuan is not just her scam. It is tangible evidence of the achievement illusion under the Chinese Communist Party system. This is not an isolated case. Following the Zhou Meixia 8 billion yuan fake foreign investment case, we turn to a more representative example of how local Chinese governments and fake foreign investment conspire to create an illusion of achievements. The Wulong education town in Yinan County, Shandong. In 2020, the Yinan County government launched an ambitious plan to build a model project integrating education, culture, tourism, and industry. In the Lunan region, the project named Wulong Education Town had a total investment of 1.2 billion yuan and covered 330 acres, with a bold slogan, education-driven county, integration of industry and education, foreign investment leadership. The media frequently reported on it, and leaders made constant inspections. This project was packaged as a model project for local economic transformation and a signature achievement in attracting foreign investment by the local government. However, the so-called foreign investment has been nothing but an illusion from the start. The project developer is Shandong Hongxiang Special Town Operations and Service Co. Limited. However, among the shareholders, a mysterious Hong Kong foreign investment company, Jiamao International Ltd, emerged as the controlling party, holding a 95% stake. It sounds like international capital entering the market, but in reality, Jiamao International had a registered capital of only 100 Hong Kong dollars with no actual business, employees, or project experience. This shell company, with the tacit approval of the local government, easily obtained land, approvals, and fiscal incentives, and was labeled a foreign investment project, becoming a proudly displayed achievement of local investment attraction. According to our business records, just before the project's funding crisis erupted, Hongxiang performed a shareholding magic trick. Jiamao International's registered capital was suddenly reduced from 185 million yuan to 40 million yuan, yet its stake surged from 21% to 95%. This is a classic example of capital packaging where an offshore shell company creates the illusion of foreign investment control, making the books appear as if international investors are in charge, when in fact it is just domestic capital shifting hands. The glow of foreign investment concealed the unspoken understanding between local governments and developers. One needed achievement, the other needed resources, and both were dependent on keeping the fake foreign investment game alive. The project started off with great fanfare, machines running day and night, banners proclaiming education-driven county. But it didn't take long for the funding chain to break. The construction site was abandoned, and now only exposed rebar and waterlogged foundations remain. The so-called foreign investment withdrawal never actually happened because of that foreign capital was never real money to begin with. By mid-2025, Hongxiang was embroiled in lawsuits, drowning in debt, with contractors unable to recover payments, migrant workers left unpaid, and local financing platforms facing shared risk. The project's failure was not just in the unfinished construction, it exposed the collapse of an entire achievement-driven logic. In this fake foreign investment game, the local government was not a bystander, but a participant. Land was quickly allocated, approvals flowed smoothly, and no one questioned the origins of that foreign investment or tracked the movement of the funds. As long as the report shows more foreign investment received, officials' achievements looked brighter, and the number could be used to report upwards. The result of this false prosperity is a temporary win followed by a widespread collapse. When capital withdraws and shell companies vanish, all that remains are debts and ruins. The Wulong education town has become a symbol of local government's fabricated achievements. From the fake foreign investment in Wulong education town to Zhou Meixia's 8 billion yuan cycle, these cases share a commonality. Fake foreign investment fulfills real political achievements, and fake prosperity hides real corruption. In a system where numbers are treated as achievements and foreign investment is seen as political capital, fraud is no longer the exception but the norm. And when the bubble bursts, it is not the fraudsters who bear the consequences but the taxpayers. Fake foreign investment fueled political achievements, while real foreign investment pulled out. In November, Starbucks sold up to 60% of its Chinese operations to Boyu Capital, a Chinese private equity firm. Boyu Capital, founded in 2010 and headquartered in Hong Kong, was established by a team that includes Jiang Zemin's grandson, Alvin Jiang. Early investors and partners include individuals with ties to large state-owned capital institutions such as CIC, China Investment Corporation, CITIC Group, and China Development Bank Capital. Boyu has close relations with the Chinese Communist Party's princeling faction and high-level families. Boyu Capital can be described as red capital with deep political ties or a quasi-state-owned platform. Chinese netizens have referred to this deal as empty-handed karate, meaning Boyu used bank loans to acquire Starbucks shares.
据说中资银团将向博裕资本提供贷款。
Apparently, a Chinese banking consortium is planning to provide a loan to Boyu Capital for acquiring a stake in Starbucks China operations. The consortium includes banks like Ping An, Industrial Bank, and China Mingsheng. They're looking at arranging a 7-year syndicated loan worth $1.4 billion US. Now, some might ask, does this syndicated loan from Chinese banks push out foreign investors? Actually, no. The fact that Starbucks is selling its stake in China is essentially foreign capital pulling out. Foreign investors simply can't provide loans to Boyu anymore.
After this deal, Starbucks is likely to become a semi-state-owned enterprise, a hybrid controlled by red capital and operated under a foreign brand license. Politically and economically, this is a typical example of a foreign brand being localized and absorbed by the system. It's similar to Coca-Cola's partnership with COFCO and McDonald's with CITIC. Foreign brands doing business with the CCP face a tough challenge if they hope to exit without compromise. Starbucks withdrawal reminds Chinese netizens of Google's exit from China. The CCP required internet content filtering and targeted American companies and dissidents. Google executives believe that remaining in China would make Google a part of the CCP's censorship system, which fundamentally conflicted with their corporate ethos of "don't be evil." In March 2010, Google closed Google.cn, redirecting Chinese users' traffic to its Hong Kong server, marking its voluntary exit from the mainland Chinese market.
那些年离开中国的企业现在过得好吗？
How are those companies that left China doing now? Back then, Google chose to exit China because it didn't want to filter information to align with the country's standards, aiming to keep global information in sync. Many people thought Google was done for, saying it was foolish to give up on a 1.4 billion person market. But no one expected that today, Google is thriving in operating systems, AI, and cloud computing. Its market value has skyrocketed from 300 billion to 1.8 trillion US dollars, becoming one of the top internet companies in the world. Meanwhile, Baidu, a competitor from that time, has been bogged down by issues like fake medical ads, and its market value has plunged to just over 30 billion US dollars. The difference is staggering. Now, Samsung phones have pretty much pulled out of the Chinese market as well, as some people are saying Samsung is the next Nokia, not far from death. At one point, it was mocked as a second-rate brand, but last year, Samsung shipped 225 million units globally, maintaining the top spot worldwide, still far ahead of us.
Google's exit from the Chinese market was driven by its commitment to uphold corporate values and core competitiveness. Even if it meant giving up a local market, it refused to forego its global leadership position. When foreign capital completely withdraws, ordinary Chinese people will not only face more overtime and lower base salaries, but the price of domestic products will also continue to rise.
如果苹果、特斯拉、丰田这些外企
What would happen if companies like Apple, Tesla, Toyota, and all other foreign brands pulled out of China overnight? Don't be quick to say it would be a good thing. The price of your domestic phone, the car you drive, even the bottled water you drink would shoot up like a rocket. Without these foreign companies, once monopolistic giants take control, price hikes would become inevitable. Without Tesla, can domestic new energy vehicles still stay competitive in price? You might find yourself not only having to watch ads when you turn on your phone, but even before you press the brakes. If there were no Coca-Cola or foreign drinks, you wouldn't be able to afford local brands like Beibing-Yang or Daoyao. Just check the prices and you'll see. Without Apple, the phones we can afford might not just cost 7,499 yuan. What do you think?
Foreign enterprises have long acted as price stabilizers and competition catalysts in the Chinese market. They introduced advanced management models, production technologies, and relatively standardized labor systems, which helped raise industry standards to some extent. After the foreign capital exits, the market competition structure is disrupted, and the landscape that once relied on price and quality competition may quickly shift towards oligopolies or regional monopolies. In such an environment, could fake foreign investment become more common? True foreign investment once brought rules and competition, but its departure reveals not only an economic downturn, but also a vacuum in the system. When power replaces the market, when obedience is safer than innovation, and when fake foreign investment becomes a decoration for local achievements, China's business civilization will have truly entered its winter.